Welcome to Module 2 of the email newsletter course for HVAC, plumbing, and electrical. Right now we're going to talk about subject lines. Subject lines are one of the most important pieces of this entire puzzle. Why? Because if you have an email newsletter, especially if it has an offer in it, or something you're trying to sell, let's say it's spring and you're trying to sell maintenance plans or you're trying to sell UV lights or something like that, they have to open it. And if they don't open it, it's useless. And the open rate is very, very important because if people don't open your emails, the email carriers, whether it's Gmail or Yahoo or whatever it is, they're going to start putting your emails in your customers' spam boxes. So we have to get them to open those emails. Open rates are very, very, very huge. With that being said, your subject line has one job and one job only: to get people to open the email. The subject line doesn't even have to be what the email is about. It should, but it doesn't have to, because its job is not to tell you what the email is about. Its job is to get you to open the email. This is why you've gotten emails from companies, and in the subject lines, it uses the word forward, or it'll say re with a colon, to kind of trick you into saying, hey, I have an ongoing conversation with this person. It gets you to look at it, and it gets you to open it. Right? That's a trick that they use. A lot of times they'll put the word free in there, of course. So what you want to do is you want that subject line to create some sort of urgency or to use some sort of psychological effect to get the people to open the email. The number one trick, well, if we use the word trick, right? So the number one way to get people to open your emails is to use their name. In Constant Contact and in Go High Level and almost all of the email platforms, you can easily include the first person or the first name in the subject line. So for example, the email subject line would say, Michael, here is your blank, or Sarah, here are 5 tips to do this. Putting your customer's name in is very, very important. I do it on 100% of the emails that I send because it's personalized. It lets people know that you know them. It lets people know that you care about them. This is special. This is for them. So it's very easy. You want to do that. Another thing you want to do is use some sort of software like ChatGPT to go in and have it create a subject line for you. Now, what I do when I create my email subject lines, I actually take the body of the email, the things that I write in the email, and I plug it into ChatGPT, and I tell ChatGPT to give me a clickbait email subject line to get people to open the email. I'll ask ChatGPT to give me 5 different versions, and then I'll pick one of those 5 versions, and I'll use that as a subject line. This is how I keep my open rate very high. So, in this module, remember, step 1, your subject line's only job is to get people to open that email. It's not to inform people on what's in the email. Having said that, you don't want to spam people or you don't want to trick people, because you can trick people once, but you can't trick them twice, right? So we want to always be ethical. We always want to be open. So you're going to have to find a balance between sparking curiosity by using a clickbait subject line and actually offering clarity. So if you can use something to have curiosity to make them open it, and they open it and there's something completely different in the email, then they probably won't open another one from you and you have just failed. So for example, you wouldn't want to put lower your electricity bill by $500 every month using this one trick, and then they open the email and it's an offer to do something like buy a UV light. You don't want to do that. But let's say you have a way to get people's electric bills to get lower, then you would want to craft that subject line something shocking that gets them to open it. And then when they open it, they actually do get value. Do you understand? So you could put lower your electricity bill by up to 50% by using these tips. And then in that email, you can write something saying that if you combine all of these, you can get it up to this amount or whatever. Okay, now don't lie about anything, because that's not a good way to do business. I recommend that when you write that email, you A/B test each subject line. Now, an A/B test just means you're putting 2 different subject lines, and the software will send half of the people an email with one subject line and the other half of the people with another subject line. And then that way it'll show you which one was better. And that's how you kind of hone your skills. What I do is when I email my client list, so if I have 5,000 people that I'm emailing, I'll do an A/B test and I'll send the first 100 people one subject line and the next 100 people another subject line. And then whichever one wins will automatically get sent to the remaining 4,800 people. The software does it automatically. Constant Contact will do that automatically. Another thing in your subject line is to use urgency and exclusivity. Things like only 10 spots left or running this special only until Friday. So you can use that urgency and that exclusivity as long as you're being honest. Like I said, tricking customers is not the name of the game. But you can offer something for this week only. For example, in my HVAC company, we run a special on maintenance when the schedule is very, very slow. That's how we keep ourselves from being slow in the quote-unquote slow season. We have a preset price. We have an $89 special. And we only do that for 2 weeks a year. We do it for 2 weeks in the spring, and then we do it 2 weeks in the fall, so 4 weeks. And we literally will say doing this only until the 31st. That's an urgency. We put the price in there and we'll say discounted 50% only until Friday, something like that. Okay, so you can use that. Be ethical, be smart. Let's go to the next module.